Loud men strive to convince, silent men to command. Silence is not emptiness. It's the space where power is born. While the majority loudly seeks validation, the one who truly rules is the one who stays quiet. Machiavelli understood power doesn't require explanations. It requires results. And often the loudest voice is hollow, while the quiet one is decisive. Silence doesn't explain. It shows. It doesn't woo applause. It draws attention. Because rarity always evokes interest. In the modern world, noise has become a mask. People shout to drown out their own void. Social media, chatter, excuses, all ways of filling the vacuum inside. The one who can be silent doesn't spend energy on filling. He saves it for action. Machiavelli would have said, "The wise man is not the one who says much, but the one whose actions create order." Silence is a resource. Silence is capital that most people senselessly disperse. The first effect of silence is that it creates a sense of weight. When you don't comment on every provocation, when you don't rush to explain your actions, people begin to fill your silence with their own meanings. They infer, ascribe, build legends. Legends are stronger than facts. A fact can die unnoticed on the table. A legend melts cities. Machiavelli knew to control perception is to control people. Silence is a tool. Let others talk. Let them lay themselves out, piece by piece. You will be the center their thoughts keep returning to. Silence is a boundary. It teaches who has the right to enter your life and who does not. When you stop responding to everything indiscriminately, boundaries become obvious, even to those who are used to ignoring them. People can't stand uncertainty. They either accept your distance or resist, because their usual game collapses. But that's their problem. Your task is to leave few places for manipulation. Distance is not alienation. It's a measure of self-preservation. Machiavelli would have smiled. The one who controls the space controls behavior. Silence works on several levels at once. On the surface, it conserves energy. Don't waste words when action settles everything. At a deeper level, it builds resilience. Each time you hold a pause, some will fall quiet and leave because they're not ready for honesty. Some will become pushy because they're used to forcing reactions out of you. And some will start to listen. That is natural filtration. You don't lose people. You find those who can handle you. And that matters more than the crowd's approval. The crowd is a mirror that lies. The ones who remain show who is truly beside you, not just playing a role. Power without words often appears in the space in between, not in speech but in pauses, in the ability to stop when everyone else is rushing, in the ability not to justify yourself when others demand explanations, in the ability not to shut down when others demand closeness. Silence is the ability to be where others can't bear to be, and that is rare. Rarity breeds respect and fear at once. People are drawn to what frightens them, if it is a source of safety and order. Silence is not detachment in the sense of vanishing from life. It is a deliberate presence in which your actions speak for you. Machiavelli didn't call it morality. He called it strategy. But strategy works deeper when you understand psychology. For the person suffocating in excess words, each silence from another feels like a storm. That creates a space in which you literally become the center of meaning. Your actions gain weight because the context has gone quiet, and you fill it with a point of support. The practical side of silence requires discipline. Whoever wants power without words must learn to listen in a way that hears not only words, but their absence. Listening is an active skill. You hear the pause, the intonation, the breath. You catch what is unsaid. The person who knows how to listen controls not the dialogue but the field, and fields are easier to steer than torrents of words. Machiavelli would add, The ability to wait is a strategy for the ages. He who can wait lets a situation unfold so it works in his favor. Silence is also the economy of connections. In a world where everyone wants to share everything, the one who is silent preserves value. The more you give yourself away in words, the less real resource you have left for moments that matter. Save your words for when they change the trajectory. Use them as a tool, not as a tin can everyone dips a spoon into. People forms. Silence as power appears in the ability not to explain. People demand meaning. They want you to hand them a map that's easy to follow. The one who explains everything hands over the map and loses position. The one who is silent and acts draws the map quietly, and others follow. When you explain, you become a hostage to your explanation. You limit yourself with its frame. Silence leaves room for interpretation, and in that room you essentially retain control over how you are perceived. Silence is the language of the body, of the subtleties of presence. Even without words, your position speaks. A steady posture, even breath, an unmoving gaze, these are parts of speech that cannot be argued with. Words can be refuted. Behavior is harder. Machiavelli lived in a world where the theater of power mattered enormously. Today, that theater has shifted into the everyday, but the mechanics are the same. Form is easier to control than content. Silence shifts your communication into form, and form is stronger than arguments. There's a practical exercise to train silence as a tool of power. For one day, limit your responses only to moments when they truly change the course of things. Drop the habit of explaining your motives. Ask for more time to think. Compress long justifications into 3 words. It's like economics. Reduce spending, increase value. At first, people will be irritated. They'll feel you're withdrawing. But soon, those who remain, those who can stand your silence, will become qualitatively different relationships. Machiavelli would say, create an elite around you by guarding your space. Silence teaches responsibility. When you don't justify yourself, your actions become your only argument. That forces you to act more carefully. The quiet speak softly, not because they're afraid, but because they respect consequences. It's discipline, and discipline breeds respect. People intuitively respect those who shoulder consequences, even if they disagree with the deed. Because respect is a reaction to steadiness, and steadiness is the outcome of consistent, quiet decisions. It's important to remember, silence is not a universal solution. There are times when silence confuse silence with pride. They keep quiet to flaunt superiority, but pride is a public tone, while silence is the calibration of privacy. The one who is silent for display will soon be trapped by that display. Silence, as a rule, is modest. It isn't meant to be a spectacle. Machiavelli distinguished the spectacle of power from its hidden mechanics. Real might is not on the stage, it's backstage. The power of silence shows most clearly in crisis. When the world screams, the one who holds the pause becomes a pillar. His calm acts as stability. People reach for a pillar, even if it seems cold. They look for a center that doesn't sway in the wind of panic. That's why leaders who can be silent end up most influential. When their voice finally sounds, it needs no proofs. It has been tested by silence. There is a moral side. Silence can be cruel when applied to suffering that needs attention. The one who is silent in the face of pain displays indifference. But that is different from silence as a tool of power. The difference lies in motive. Silence for control is a tool. Silence for protection is a necessity. Silence used to ignore someone else's pain is cruelty. Machiavelli was a pragmatist, but even a pragmatist understands that strength should be accompanied by meaning. Silence requires practice. It is not an inborn gift for most. Start small. Don't answer every message immediately. Don't give an emotional reply in debate. Practice the pause in conversation and let your interlocutor endure it. Notice how the dynamic changes. People either leave or begin to seek different ways of interaction. Leave room for what matters to emerge. Machiavelli would advise, build around yourself a structure of expectations where the word is rare and action is the norm. And finally, the most painful part. Silence exposes loneliness. When you go quiet, many leave because their needs aren't being met. That's normal. The price of silence is losing those who were used to taking your reaction as payment for your presence. You will lose those who lived off your mass of words. Your road sign. It gives you a space in which new worlds are born. This is only the beginning.